I'm Margaret, I'm 21, and I'm a performer.
My name is Nadine. I'm 30 years old. I was born and raised in New York City. I'm transgendered.
I think I started writing because I'm really shy, so I wanted somewhere to get it all out of me and emotional, so I needed a place to do that. And then I moved to New York 3 years ago and started going out and found my people. So yeah.
Growing up was pretty simple for me. I had a really supportive family, so my transition and everything, my mom kind of knew about me before I did.
I grew up in a small town, so there was just this mentality that I didn't really mesh with, and I was a queer person in this very small town, so everyone kind of knows your business and likes to put people on blast, you know. I was just always outcasted, so I was quiet, and I don't know, there wasn't much to do. People just got drunk in the woods and had bonfires and shit. I wasn't into that. I was what's real in this world? What's going on?
My childhood was pretty good though. I didn't really I guess, go through a lot of the struggles everybody else did because my family was supportive. It was almost the day I decided to do it, it was just okay, we're gonna forget about the other person and we're gonna address you as Nadine. And my mom went about taking me to a doctor and went to a lawyer and got my name changed and stuff like that. So it was pretty smooth. I have to thank God that I've been blessed in that way.
I'm a middle child. I have an older brother and a younger sister. I don't really talk to my family at all anymore. So yeah, it's a very toxic household, a lot of abusive behavior, a lot of homophobia and terrible things like that, so I stay away.
Okay, I kind of always felt this way. It was not, I don't think that I thought any other way. I guess when everybody else wanted to go play sports and stuff like that, no, I didn't want to play with dolls, but I did want to dress up. When I was younger, you hear everybody say, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be this, I want to be that. All I ever wanted to be was a woman.
I'm bisexual, yeah.
Your family judged you?
Yeah, it was, well, it's a lot of reasons that I feel they, in their eyes, to be successful would be to just, go to school, get a job, have kids, have a family, a house. And I never really wanted those things. I kind of wanted to follow a different path. So I don't think that they really understood that or wanted to. It's also a religious thing, I think, Catholic, a religious guilt.
I think the first time I put on female clothing was when I was 13, and by the time I was 14, I didn't change back at all. My brother was the only one who had a problem with it at first, but my mom put him right into check. She was just if you have a problem, I'll slap you type thing situation. So it was pretty simple. He didn't he said he loved me anyway, and that was that.
Yeah, well, I think anytime I tried to express myself, it was met with a lot of hostility. Also just a lot of my writings that are published or my performances that are out there, it's very much about sex, and all of that stuff made them very uncomfortable. And even though I was doing things that were making me really proud and happy, it was never deemed as an accomplishment. It was just this is gross, put that away.
I didn't get any trouble in school. I was pretty popular, been pretty popular all my life, so in school it was it was no different. When I transitioned, some of my guy friends pretty much said, oh, we always looked at you like you were a girl anyway. So I got my my boobs done for a birthday gift from my ex-boyfriend. But everything else, I started taking hormones probably when I was like 14, 15. And that did most of the process. Like, you know, it stopped puberty from happening in, I guess, in a male form. And I developed as a woman as opposed to anything else.
I used to have a lot of like sleep paralysis where I felt like someone was holding my body down, and I would all of this crazy like panic attacks and stuff, and like I just feel like I've come to terms with it as like this is what happened, but it's not really defining me anymore.
I've never been hurt or like, you know, I guess I've been blessed that I never like walked down the street and people like, oh my God, that's a dude. Like, you know, I'm pretty passable, so I never really like, you know, had to go through that. I've seen my friends go through it. They've like, you know, if they gotten bottles thrown at them, and, you know, you feel bad for other people, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, you know, thank God that's not me. Because everybody, like, you know, I guess in my situation, like, you know, at least what people tell me is you're different, you're not like them, or, you know, and it's just because of the way that I look, and it's not fair. Because I make people feel comfortable. It's like, you get it. Like, you know, I guess in America, you're either or. So when you don't fit or you don't look like you fit in between, they automatically want to shut you.
I woke up a few years ago from this dream and I was like, oh shit, this is not normal, this is not okay, and all of this, you know, but it's like good because I feel like I'm sort of moving on.
I'm the type of person that I don't like to tell people my business. Like, I feel like if I'm not having sex with you, then you shouldn't know. Like, there should be no reason you know. And recently there was a woman who, like, you know, she kind of disagreed with that. And I'm pretty popular online, and I'm pretty popular in the New York club scene. So she felt that I was going out there and lying and deceiving men. And it's not even like that. Like, you know, I literally go out and party. And, okay, yes, guys do come up to me and, you know, try to holler, so to speak. But do I reciprocate? No.
You know, it was hard to distance myself from them at first, but I think it's for the best, you know. It's hard, but...
A lot of them call like he, she, which is the worst. Let me see. You get called, like, you know, there's a lot of shims, and mainly the pronouns that they get completely wrong, like he and stuff like that. It's so disrespectful. Like, yeah, he, she's the worst, yeah, because that sounds like, you know, it's almost like the equivalent to it. You know, when somebody has a baby, what is it? You know, mothers get upset, like, it's not an it, it's a baby. You understand? So that's how I feel like he, she, when it comes off to me at least. I think it's disrespectful, actually.
I hope that, you know, they would come around, and I am still hopeful that we would have a relationship, but I think for that to happen, they have to be a lot less judgmental, not just about me, about a lot of things in the world, you know.
History always repeats itself, and women, women back in the day weren't able to vote. Now they're able to vote. They didn't even have a voice.
I think if you come from like an abusive background, you can choose to be like a really angry person and carry it on, or you can choose to like be very kind to people and like try your best to not repeat the same patterns.
Black people weren't even able to, like, you know, drink at the same water fountains as white people. But they fought and they fought and they fought. So this is how I see it in America. It's just like, as soon as y'all wake up a sleeping giant, America usually conforms. There's no way that, like, you know, I guess no battle that was ever fought, the conservative people have won. So that's how I see it. It's just like, okay, if enough of us make enough noise, they're gonna have to, like, you know, listen to us. And the world is changing. So I feel if you're not evolving with it, you're just gonna get left behind.
Well, it's cheesy, but like, just keep going. Any advice that I have is gonna sound like so cliche, but really just keep going, because there was moments when I didn't picture myself ever making it to 21, and I'm like so happy that I stayed, because everything feels better when you like get over it. Keep going.